We're back with another middleweight naked bike shootout. You might be asking, why are we doing this video? Well, because these days there are more middleweight bikes than affordable health insurance plans. I mean, come on, right? Is that what I should talk about today? America's for-profit healthcare system? Well, you're in luck. I'm not going to. We're comparing the KTM Duke 890, Yamaha MT09, and the Triumph Street Triple. Let's get into it. Let's say you're a Euro snob that has more in common with a Kawasaki Kyle than your average Ducati rider. You do an hour of prayer and meditation over the KTM Power Parts Bible each day. You bleed orange. In this case, you should see a doctor, but otherwise you may be interested in the KTM Duke 890. The Duke 890 is a naked bike that is built for the rider who wants agreeable upright ergonomics, aggressive insectoid styling, and the ability to pop a wheelie as well as they can carve a corner. This bike is powered by an 889cc liquid-cooled parallel twin engine that delivers 121 horsepower and 73 foot-pounds of torque, which might not be liter bike numbers, but should be more than enough to get your rocks off on city streets. The Duke 890 is called the Scalpel by KTM and probably no one else because it is pretty corny. But the intention of the moniker reigns true. The Duke 890 handles better than your average naked bike. The bike features a lightweight trellis frame that is both strong and flexible. Does that sound counterintuitive? Yes, but hey, I'm not a KTM engineer. If I were, you can bet I'd be yelling a lot more and using hardcore descriptors like the Duke 890 is bellicose and pugnacious in its riding style. The adjustable suspension is made by WP, who I believe has the same ownership as KTM. The bike also comes with dual disc brakes up front and a single disc brake in the rear for ample stopping power. In terms of style, the Duke 890 is unmistakably a KTM Duke. It has an aggressive, angular look and jarring, high-contrast colors that make everyone know that you're riding a KTM. The bike features clean lines, sharp edges, and a muscular stance that gives it an unmistakable presence on the road. The Duke 890 has a pretty standard ergonomic setup with a wide, flat handlebar, mid-controls, and a seat that has you kind of tucked into the bike more than on top of it. This bike does have a 33-inch seat height, which is something to take into consideration. The Scalpel has a curb weight of 405 pounds. KTM is pretty good at making their bikes have a premium feel with plenty of tech components. This bike has LED headlights and taillights, a TFT display, and a Bosch ABS system. Additionally, the Duke 890 is equipped with a full suite of rider aids, including traction control, quick shifter, and power modes. But let's be real, if you're going to be in and out of the dealer for warranty work, when you've actually got the bike, you're going to want to use it at its full potential. I'm just kidding. Supposedly, KTM has sorted out a lot of their reliability issues. Supposedly. But at the same time, it is never going to be efficient having to have parts shipped in from Austria should you need work done. Just something to keep in mind. The KTM Duke is a pretty versatile bike. You can commute on it, ride around town, take it out to the twisties, or even take it to the track. The KTM Duke 890 demands a retail MSRP of $12,949.
Guys, quick interruption for today's video. It is proudly supported by Rockform. You guys have probably heard us talk about Rockform on the channel before, but we love what they do. Rockform makes an amazing phone case, but it doesn't end there. The Rockform case can be utilized in so many different ways. It's magnetic. It can go on a phone mount on your bike with a vibration damper as well, and the whole Rockform ecosystem becomes available to you once you have the phone case. Fans of the Yam get 25% off by hitting the link down below. No code required. But if you do have to put in a code, use YN25 to get yourself 25% off Rockform products. Thanks for them for supporting today's video. Now back to the show.
Up next, we have the Yamaha MT09, the master of torque, the dark side of Japan. The bike's so wheelie happy you'll have to call your mom to come pick you up from the group ride. The MT09 has an oh-so-spicy liquid-cooled 890cc inline 3-cylinder engine that delivers 117 juiced-up ponies and 69 foot-pounds of torque. This engine really is the piece to raise the stunts of this motorcycle. Whether you're cruising down the highway or carving through the twisties, the MT09 has more than enough juice to keep you entertained. For a long time, the MT09 was criticized for its handling. The only semi-adjustable stock suspension, twitchy throttle, and short wheelbase didn't make the MT09 the most confidence-inspiring motorcycle on the side of the tire. But now with the MT09 SB, much of those qualms have been set aside now that it is rocking fully adjustable KYB and Öhlins suspension. The MT09 is also equipped with plenty of rider aids as well, which can come in handy for the rider that still has yet to learn the hard way what the master of torque is really capable of. This bike comes with a 6-axis IMU pulled from the R1, which controls traction control, wheel lift, and slide control, all based on vehicle speed and lean angle. The MT09 also has a quick shifter, which allows you to change gears without using the clutch, making for a smoother and more seamless riding experience. The MT09 has pretty agreeable ergonomics as well. It has midfoot controls with your feet straight below you and a wide flat handlebar that puts you in a pretty commanding riding position. Additionally, both the foot peg and handlebar pistons are adjustable, which makes the MT09 pretty functional for most sized riders. Yamaha has really stepped up the fit and finish on the recent model years of the MT bikes. Not that they were ever poorly made or unreliable, some of the components just felt a bit cheap compared to bikes from other manufacturers. But as competition in the middleweight naked bike class has gotten even more rigorous, Yamaha has stepped up their game in terms of components. The MT09 does have a TFT display as well as LED lighting all around. The Yamaha MT09 has been in production since 2014, so there is no real shortage of aftermarket parts or support. The MT09 really makes a case for itself when it comes to the price point. The base model comes in at $9,800, which is absolutely insane. For less than 10 grand, you get a super versatile, fun naked bike with a great sounding 3-cylinder engine that makes a very reasonable amount of power. And if you're a more seasoned rider that has slightly more discerning tastes for motorcycle handling, the SB version with fully adjustable suspension comes in at just $11,499, which is almost $1,500 less than the KTM Duke 890, while still being plenty of fun, making comparable power, and being tried and true reliable. It is really hard to find any faults for the MT09 at the price point. The next motorcycle that shall bear all during our middleweight naked bike shootout is the Triumph Street Triple. First introduced in 2007, the Street Triple has undergone several updates and upgrades, each one adding features and making this bike more competitive. Currently, there is the Street Triple R, which boasts an updated 765cc engine that delivers an impressive 121 horsepower and 57 foot-pounds of torque. This is paired with a lightweight and nimble chassis, making it an ideal bike for both city riding and winding roads. For a naked bike, the Street Triple has a pretty reserved design. The bike features clean lines, a compact body, and a sleek tank that gives it a modern look without looking too angular or aggressive. The Street Triple is pretty recognizable by its googly bug-eye headlights. The low profile of the seat combined with the bike's compact dimensions makes it easy for riders of all sizes to control and maneuver the bike. The high-quality Triumph finishes and attention to detail such as the LED headlights and LED indicators add to the bike's overall aesthetic and help to set it apart from other bikes in its class. The 765cc 3-cylinder engine delivers smooth, linear power and is coupled with a 6-speed transmission. The experience is arguably a little more refined than that of the Master of Torque. The bike's handling is also top-notch with fully adjustable suspension in both the front and rear. It also comes equipped with Brembo brakes from the factory. The lightweight chassis combined with the engine's power makes the Street Triple an extremely agile and responsive bike that is comfortable enough for bopping around town while being simultaneously capable enough for aggressive, spirited riding on twisty roads or even track days. The Street Triple is equipped with plenty of modern tech features as well. It has a TFT display, 4 ride modes, cornering ABS, cornering traction control, and wheelie control. Much like the MT09 SB, the Triumph Street Triple is also available in the RS model. This bike uses the same 765cc triple, but is tuned for a little more power at 128 horsepower and 58 foot-pounds of torque. It has even higher end spec, fully adjustable Showa forks up front, and Öhlins monoshock in the rear. It has upgraded Brembo-style calipers and Super Corsa V3 tires. The RS model also comes with a 5th track ride mode that disables or scales back many of the rider modes to make them less intrusive when you're pushing this bike hard. The base model Triumph Street Triple R comes in at $9,995 and the Street Triple RS comes in at $12,845. Call me biased based off of my personal love affair with triple cylinder engines from Triumph, but the Street Triple R at less than 10 grand might make a case for itself for being a better buy than the MT09 or the KTM Duke 890. The KTM makes pretty good power, but has a pretty steep price point, and it is a KTM, so no matter how much the public opinion has improved, buying a KTM does not come with automatic stamp of approval for reliability like a Japanese bike or even a Triumph would, and it is kind of an ugly motorcycle. Some people clearly like it, but it is a little much if you ask me. The MT09, especially the MT09 SB, is really a tough bike to beat when it comes to features, power, usability, and price. The Triumph Street Triple is pretty neck and neck with the MT on power, while being more linear and less torque happy. But base model MT versus base model Street Triple, you might be getting more value with the Street Triple's fully adjustable suspension and Brembo brakes, but you could cross-shop and scrutinize these bikes all day. I think it mostly comes down to your personal taste or style. Do you want the Master of Torque to threaten loop out on you, or do you want a refined British 3-cylinder experience? Or do you want to buy a KTM with no guarantee it won't be in and out of the dealership for warranty work? The choice is your own. Let me know which bike you prefer. Are you a power parts evangelist or a normal person? Hope you liked this video and someone somewhere found it useful in their middleweight shopping, or more likely it proved as an opportunity to validate the purchase someone made already. Either way, if you're happy, I'm happy. Fact. Every time you shuffle a deck of cards, you are almost certain to have created an order never before seen in the history of the world. Goodbye.
Well, look at you. You've made it to the end of another Yammy Noob video. You should consider yourself pretty lucky because I have curated this one right over here for you to continue watching. It's probably just as good as the one you just saw. Unless you hated the one you just saw. I don't know, maybe leave me a comment down below about how much you hated it as well too. Or just keep watching this one. Make sure you keep watching Yami Noob. Don't forget to keep watching Yami Noob. That's the most important thing. Keep watching Yami Noob.